Magazines in Japan have some of the wildest free gifts. I mean, where else would you find a portable back massager as an add-on to your magazine? And I don't want to hear what else this could be used for, because it's clearly for getting all the knots out of your neck, and that's it. On the more PG side of things, how about this Disney-themed claw machine? There was some assembly required. Pause for ASMR. But Disney adults have a true safe haven in Japan. And then the last one, which was a total catfish. Like, what would you guess is in here? Looking at the cover, probably slippers, right? You would be just so wrong. Hey, maybe it's on me for not reading the magazine more closely. This spork knife thing did work, but I gotta say, I'd just rather eat my kiwis whole than bother with it. Things in Japan that make no sense, but also make a lot of sense for Japan. On the same day you can get a robot to make your coffee for you, you can also get eggs cooked by hot spring steam. Because there's so much volcanic activity in Japan, it's kind of common actually. And there was no cash register, only the honor system, which I don't know if that'd work in my country. And everyone thinks Japan is quiet until you go to a department store and the theme song is blasting absolutely everywhere you go. But it's worth putting up with because they have everything you'd want here, from food to skincare, tons of electronics, and even designer purses, all in the same building, which makes stores like Donkey perfect for tourists. But definitely be careful where you wander, because you might end up in a section that you're not prepared for. And if you're looking for a cheap meal here, you'd be surprised what you can find. If you wander into any of the business districts here, you'll probably find people selling super affordable lunch boxes. You'll even find places selling them for one 500 yen coin. And Japan's most confusing yet innovative product might be these gamer cup noodles. Literally caffeinated instant noodles. But I gotta say that the noodles were surprisingly good. Things I thought were Japanese until I lived in Japan. Hibachi. When I told my friends I wanted to try real Japanese hibachi, they were like, girl, what are you talking about? What I meant was teppanyaki, which is a style of grilling. Hibachi is this, a bowl. No onion volcano and no shrimp toss. I know, devastating. Sushi is also pretty different. Not to say Japan doesn't have some pretty wacky sushi combos, but some of my friends were shocked that they wouldn't be able to find dragon rolls or dinosaur rolls when they came to Tokyo. Gotta admit, it's pretty tasty, but I'm not gonna lie, I think deep fried sushi might send some chefs here into a coma. And if the matcha in the US doesn't taste good to you, I don't blame you. I kind of thought it just tasted like grass too, until I tried the ceremonial grade stuff. Now it still kind of tastes like grass to me, but high quality grass. Things that make no sense, but also make perfect sense since I moved to Japan. I eat raw eggs all the time here. In fact, it's pretty normal to do that in Japan. People like eating them over rice or as a kind of dipping sauce, and they're so fresh and safe that you can even find all-you-can-eat raw egg buffets. And I know you'd think it's obvious that anime is a big part of the culture here, but you really find it in unexpected places. Even the real estate companies have chosen to have the power of God and anime on their sides. And if you want to get a better look at those bulging anime muscles, then worry not, because glasses are pretty cheap here. Even if you don't speak Japanese, there are tons of places that'll do an eye test for you for free, and you can walk out with a new pair of glasses in like an hour for 30 bucks. One of my favorite things since I've moved here though is collecting these magazines that have gifts inside them that are worth more than the magazines themselves. There's a popular one that's filled with ads for weddings, but I think we all know that the Snoopy themed duster is the real reason we got the magazine.
Asia is inventing new insecurities.
Like, why would you need a belly button cleaner? But if you find a victim,
participant, then you can see that just washing your belly button in the shower is infinitely better.
But they don't stop there, cause
have you ever thought your tongue is ugly?
Cause the new trend is to dye your tongue red like a rabbit's.
Am I harder now?
No.
Even your eyes. These companies will have you thinking the rings of your eyes aren't dark enough. And maybe these contacts look good on somebody,
but it's not me.
Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan. You know what's wild? These kids graduate in the spring and only have 2 weeks before the next school year. I don't know about you, but I simply do not think that's enough time for character development. Also, teachers don't get breaks off, so I've gotten really into reading, if you know what I mean. Honestly, I've gotten pretty good at dilly-dallying, and you probably would too if you had all these beautiful flowers blooming around you. But when I got back, I had sushi for lunch, and have you ever gotten one of these fish soy sauce droppers before? Because I'm completely obsessed. That wasn't enough though, so I had these noodles, and when you come to Japan, you have to try decking out your noodles with convenience store stuff. Just trust me on this one. And on my way out, I realized I need to mail a letter, but the post office here has more than just letters. You'll have to follow along to see what else they sell, but today it was post office eggs. They use the honor system out here, and I needed eggs, so it works out for me. In Japan, you can get lunch for just 1 coin, 7-Eleven edition. But we're not just gonna get one thing and call it a day. No, we're getting a 4-course meal, baby. All in all, it came out to less than 500 yen because I'm a convenience store queen, what can I say? And here's our haul. Starting with the first course, the best part about the onigiri was definitely the crunch. And my hack for making cup ramen is to put the chopsticks like this so it steams. This one is fun because it comes with a whole sheet of fried tofu. And I know you were wondering about that apple pie candy. It smelled like a whole Yankee candle and it kind of tasted like one too.
I just ripped my pants. It's so bad.
Well, let's go make some new ones.
Being in Japan means I can just go to a denim workshop to make my own pair. And they take their craft seriously. I mean, where else have you seen a jean sommelier? He took one look at me and said, "This is the pair for you."
And took one look at Ben and said, "This boy needs the largest pair we have. These are Japanese sizes after all."
And then the fun part is picking your own rivets and patches.
Can someone in Tucson please confirm? But then it's time to put your back into it because they're gonna make you work for these pants.
Go, 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 go. Oh, yeah.
And when you're done, you'll be left with a timeless piece that can be passed down from parents to offspring. As long as you don't split them like me.
All right, now no more throwing it back.
Last time I became a brunette. This time I'm making him a ginger. You ready?
Please be gentle.
You look great.
Can we get a zoom in on my forehead, please?
It's looking pretty good. Just need some freckles. And can't forget the eyebrows.
This feels so wrong.
And we're done.
This is temporary, right?
I think so. We just went to the wrong airport. Tokyo has 2 airports that are really far apart, and because we only got a few hours of sleep the night before, we were going to the wrong one. And we cannot miss this flight because Japan Airlines literally invited us to fly from Haneda Airport to one of the hardest places to get to in Japan if you don't have a flight.
Which we do if we can manage to make it through the gates.
JAL self-check-in, easy, but it's security I'm worried about.
No lines, no lines, no lines, no lines.
I don't know what I'm worried about. Lines are usually short at Haneda, but it is not over till I get there. Glad for our sake that those gates do not close until that plane is about to take off. Also glad they have free in-flight Wi-Fi so I can show you exactly why I could not miss this trip. This is Wakayama, specifically Nachikatsura, famous for that one waterfall in Japan that's all over social media, the Kumano Kodo where you put on traditional outfits to do a pilgrimage through the countryside and mountains, and lobster. This is a side of Japan so many people don't get to see, and we almost didn't get to see, but we're so happy we made it because there are so many rare and unique activities to do out here, and you'll just have to catch your own flight with JAL, hopefully from the right airport, to experience it for yourself.
Japan just made the worst drink possible. And unfortunately, it's my job to try it.
We're getting the new mayonnaise drink. It says it's not actually mayonnaise, just mayonnaise flavor, but we're about to see.
Oh, I can smell it.
Isn't that bad?
Oh my god, it's puke.
It's so much worse than I thought. It's like drinking mayonnaise. What did I expect?
I have been out Caucasians.
This drink is limited edition, and honestly, we're not sure it should exist in the first place.
If you can hide these in this convenience store, I'll give you $100.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Easy.
This one is level 1.
And this might be the perfect spot. And level 2 is where it starts to get tough. Cause there's no way he's looking in the fridge. And done. And this guy is just a decoy. So level 3 will be impossible. Oh, I'm winning that money.
All right, time to find those guys. You're playing dirty.
That was close.
Wait a second. This one's just bad.
I tried my best.
Really? In the beans? I found them all.
Actually, you missed one.
What?
You forgot to check the fridge.
That's cheating.
You'll get it next time.
If you can hide these guys in this room, I'll give you $100.
It's on. Okay, this one is level 1. It might even be too easy to find. Level 2 is gonna be a bit more of a challenge. And you can't forget to paint on the sprinkles. And level 3 is just a decoy, so he doesn't notice level 4. All right, whenever you're ready.
Ha, I can already see one.
He fell for the decoy.
Ha, there you are. Sprinkles. Very clever. Wait, where's Sprinkles?
I knew he'd find that one.
Where'd you put those guys?
Ready to give up?
Fine, you win.
I'll be taking this
What?
and this.
No.
I'm trying Japan's fake Italian food, and this restaurant might manage to offend the Italians and the French in one go. Because with 60-cent wine and $2 escargot, this place isn't exactly serving up authenticity, but it is serving up value because you won't believe how much all this cost us. And though some of it was dubious, and surely the Italians would have problems with this carbonara, I'm not gonna lie, we've kind of come around on it. Italian places are usually expensive in Tokyo, and you'd pay double for a pizza like this anywhere else. I left the escargot up to Ben because I wasn't about to have the French coming for me for my opinions too.
No hate, but it was like eating salted leather.
At least he's honest. And honestly, this tiramisu did it for me. Hate me all you want, but I was licking that bowl and everything. And for less than $15, Saizeriya cannot be beat. This might be the most dangerous gift shop in the world. If you can manage to get to the border of North Korea and avoid all the landmines, you'll find some of the most bizarre souvenirs. Like, how could you leave the demilitarized zone without a shirt or a mug or even going to the propaganda theme park? And even when it got serious and they took our phones away to go into the tunnel that North Korea dug into South Korea, of course, the gift shop was waiting up above for us. Then they took us to see North Korea up close and personal. You think they have gift shops over there? Because they definitely do here. And because I respect the hustle, I finally gave in to this DMZ soybean ice cream. My most embarrassing moment when I started working in Japan was every day for the first month. When I came in, I said good morning to the principal. Just a simple ohayo gozaimasu, kancho sensei. But if you know Japanese, you know kocho sensei is principal. Kancho is a game that middle school boys play that looks something like this. So I was really calling this man butt poke teacher for like half a year. And I only put 2 and 2 together when I witnessed this game happening in the halls. And as the boys yelled out kancho, the principal looked at me and laughed just a little too hard. It was devastating. But at least I knew better from then on. The robots at this cafe in Tokyo are run by people with disabilities. At Cafe Dawn in Tokyo, you're greeted, served, and even given candy by robot staff. And you might be worried about an AI takeover, but this is fortunately a lot more wholesome than that. These robots are controlled by people who can't work in person, like our friend Chikuyu.
Try this job.
She explained to us that she has an illness that prevents her from working an in-person job, but working at Cafe Dawn has given her the chance to meet lots of people right from her home, including her coworkers, who she's even had a chance to meet up with in person and try out the cafe for herself. And I don't know about you, but if this is what the robot takeover looks like, then I'm cool with it. Day in my life working in Japan. Rushing to catch my train because I cannot be late. We've got a big interview today, so let's lock in. And I've got to look good for this, so first thing is a haircut. And now it's a tax write-off. Then we gotta hit up the bakery because unlike an anime girl running around with a slice of bread in her mouth, my taste is a bit more refined. And we're not gonna make it through today without some Minecraft bread. And then it's time to get changed, and I'm not gonna say who, but one of us was getting the nervous farts before our interview. But now we need a quick pep talk.
Be nonchalant.
Spoilers, we are the most chalant people ever.
But then it's time. And guys, this is a big deal. It's for the biggest English newspaper in Japan. And it's going really well until we bring up our hyperfixation of sugar gliders. Did you know they go bald? Anyways, we try to redeem ourselves with the JoJo pose and hope our agency doesn't drop us.
My boyfriend got punched our first day in Japan, and you might too.
Because this is becoming a problem in Japan. They're called butsukari otoko, or bumping men. But it's just any person who gets a rush out of pushing people. Usually shoving women, foreigners, kids, and even Ben.
And what do you even do? Because they do it in crowded areas where they can get away quickly.
But the worst part is you can get in even more trouble if you try hitting them back. And you might think, Megan, just call them out. But it's not that simple. Because they'll even act like it's your fault for getting in their way.
Notice how this problem doesn't exist in America, because we just throw hands.
We are the Japanese Goblin.
What the fuck did you just...
Here's what a $1,000 apartment looks like in Tokyo. First thing, leave your shoes at the door and head into our high-tech bathroom. The bidet will leave you feeling like maybe Japan really does live in the future. Wash your hands at the toilet sink and head into the miniature kitchen where all you need is a rice cooker and a dream. Then we're headed into bathroom part 2 where you'll find our combination washer dryer. Very economical. Spin into the shower and get squeaky clean. But be careful what buttons you press on the bath controls because you could call your landlord.
Seriously, there's a button for that.
Bust open the oven slash microwave slash grill thing and sit down to appreciate all 30 square meters of beautiful decorations, including such features as light off and light on. Very economical. Take a stroll into where the magic happens, and because every square meter counts, you'll find all of our life possessions under our bed. No pets allowed here, but you do get a fabulous walk-in closet, or a spin-in closet if you will. Oh, looks like somebody's at the door. I wonder who it is. I hope it's not my landlord.
Why are people still doing these things in Japan? I can't believe tourists are stopping geisha on the street to take pictures.
That is a working woman. She is on the clock. Like, if you want pictures with them, you should go to a performance.
Or hire them for dinner like these gegi in Niigata. And why are people filling up their suitcases with plastic souvenirs that may not even be made in Japan? I mean, fridge magnets are alright, but hot take, supporting a local business and making your own is just better. Personally, we're big fans of making memories and souvenirs at the same time. It's very economical. And as people living here, our hottest take is we're not waiting hours for trendy food unless we make it ourselves. A 3-hour line for ramen? No, no, no. An hour and a half class on making soba? Yes, yes, yes.
So we just found out our Airbnb in Korea is illegal.
Probably. Most likely illegal, because when we got in, everything looked great and it had hundreds of 5-star reviews, so we were not worried.
Until the owner texted us a long list of sketchy rules we had to follow to stay here. Rules like sneaking in through the back entrance just to use the elevator to get in, avoiding contact with any of the staff, and if the building manager caught us, telling them we were staying with a friend. I don't know about you, but to me this does not seem like something an upstanding business would be asking us to do. And after talking to our Korean friend about this, we found out that 70% of Airbnbs in Korea are not allowed to be operating. And even though we were staying there too short of a time to really do anything about it, we learned our lesson.
I'm about to miss the last train.
So it's 12:30 in the morning, so either I can wait 5 hours for the first train, or since I live in Japan, I think I know how to get out of it. This is a manga cafe. It's infinitely cheaper than a hotel, but it'll give you all the same basic amenities, and maybe then some. I got my own little individual room, and I know it might seem small, but believe it or not, some people live in these like full time, and I understand why, because this place has basically everything you need. You know, like manga for the girlies, more manga for the girlies, and free all-you-can-eat soft-serve ice cream. And if you're planning on gaming till the trains are running again, then they've also got you covered. They even provide sanitary masks for the VR headset and sanitary tissues. Can't imagine why you'd need those. And yeah, I wouldn't want to take a black light to this room or anything, but all the free stuff helps you forget your desperation and staying here as a last-ditch effort.
Is this even safe?
This is the highest bridge in the world, or at least the highest you can actually walk across.
And Ben says that if I do a piggyback ride on the bridge, then he'll buy me dinner.
And even though heights make me need to pee, I'm hungry, so I'm doing it. And that means suiting up in these Squid Game guard-looking ass onesies and using this thing as our only lifeline.
But here's the problem.
There is no elevator to the bridge, so you gotta take the stairs while the instructor tells you stories about the Russians who did handstand push-ups on here.
Of course they were Russian. But then I'm like, is Ben actually Russian? Cause look at what he's doing.
Don't get too crazy, Beth.
But then it's my turn. I'm one piggyback ride away from a free meal.
So I hop on it, hoping that the dinner place we go to has a bathroom, cause I'm gonna need it.
Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan, completely honest edition. Everyone always asks how much I make, and it's less than a McDonald's worker, which makes sense because they do hard work, and I just stay on Quizlet all day trying to avoid eye contact with the ads on there. Also, if you work here, you'll know they love keeping the windows open, even though it's cold as hell outside. So I had to put these little heaters in my Uggs, which may seem like overkill, but it wasn't even enough. After lunch, I decided to treat myself to a little Coke Plus from the vending machine outside. What does the plus stand for, you ask? Laxatives. It's don't make my mistake. When I get back from my little excursion, I work on a Kahoot and grading some papers. Also, everyone says I look like an anime character, but no, you're wrong. My students tell me I look like this lady from the textbook, and I agree. Anyways, one of the only good things about still having a mask at work is that I can whiten my teeth, and no one knows. Then my coworkers left some snacks on my desk, so I added them to the snack drawer, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stacked right now. Pretty uneventful, but that's how my day was. In Japan, I get my lunch for just 1 coin. The real hack is to follow the salarymen to wherever they're going because trust, they will find the cheapest place. Maybe not always the best place, but definitely the cheapest. And today they led me to this 500 yen bento stand, which is great because according to girl math, coins aren't real money, so this actually is free. And they have quite a few options, but like I said, only have 1 coin, so I had to choose one of the economy options. After I secured the goods, I headed back to the office, and not gonna lie, I got kind of shaken up, but it still looked good. You know, people were telling me they can get a lot more food in their country for the same amount of money, and that's great, but I'm from the US, and this is a lot for me. Because where I'm from, the cheapest food isn't always the healthiest, as much as I love a good Costco hot dog. Anyways, I absolutely love the pickled plums that these bentos come with. But what's not so great were the onions this came with. So this was a great deal, but I couldn't finish it because I wanted to spare my stomach the trouble later. In Japan, you can get breakfast with just 1 coin. This place is seriously so cheap. I don't know how they're not losing money on this. I got to go full iPad kid while ordering, and actually there's an even cheaper breakfast than the one I got, but I wanted some meat, so, you know. And while I was waiting, I saw this worker help this old man use the iPad to order, and it was honestly so sweet. The service is so much better than what I'm about to pay for. Anyways, this is what I got. Since moving to Japan, I've become a huge fan of putting raw eggs on rice. I don't know if that's weird to you, but I love it. The miso was absolute perfection, but this came with onions, and you know I can't let that slide. After picking those out like a freaking 5-year-old, I made these little wraps. Everything was super good, and honestly, this is about as cheap as a meal gets in Japan, and it was super filling. I can't believe I actually got change after eating all that. Day in the life of a high schooler in Japan. My day started out by being dragged out to an abandoned high school in the middle of nowhere just to become a student for the day. But first, uwabaki. Okay, so this clearly isn't a regular high school, and we're definitely not high school students. But this was an abandoned school, repurposed to let people experience what student life is like in Japan through classes like calligraphy, gym, and some other events. Anyways, first class is calligraphy, and if this is what we need to do to graduate, then I'm toasted. And oh, what's this, a camera? Maybe there's a longer video on this, I don't know, check it out. And next class, I definitely wasn't going to fail because I was serving up lunch and looks. But then it was time for yet another outfit change for gym class, which did have me sweating from the memories of being picked last for school sports teams, which I can't blame them because I do look like a frail Victorian child. But this Victorian child was on the winning team this time. And just like in a real Japanese high school, you have to learn how to clean up after your nasty self before they'll let you graduate.
We just saw somebody pay for the train with a piece of bread. Taipei may have the weirdest train cards in the world because they're not even cards. And apparently there's a store here where you can pick out your own. You can use a Pokeball to get on the subway, or you can use 75% ethanol, literally a Pringles can. Or something even weirder. I need all of that. But now we gotta pick our own and see how this really works. Oh yeah, this one's it. Basically gonna put $30 on some milk.
We put some bread on our bread.
Why did that actually work?
Tokyo really tried to ban Halloween in Shibuya, but it did not work. They are really worried about that Shibuya incident, but what they should be more worried about are the costumes here. Like, bro, they are not beating the allegations. After we got everything we needed from that wonderful and horrible store, we went out to a smaller side street for a photo shoot. And if you're a cosplayer or really anybody, portable flat irons literally changed my life. Not sponsored, wish I was. Anyways, here's some clips from the photo shoot, but you never expected Slav Squat Makima, but expect the unexpected. But what we expected was to find a little companion for our Halloween costume, and no, I'm not talking about this Gojo. And we finally found the exact crane game we were looking for, and this was definitely our first try, definitely, and definitely not our, like, 20th. And I didn't even expect this thing to be as cute as it was because it had wheels. But there were some sweet middle schoolers watching us play, so we decided to give it to them. And what would a trip to a Japanese arcade be without playing DDR to Megalovania? Things about my school in Japan that could send Americans into a coma. We all had to change from outdoor to indoor shoes as soon as we entered the school, and no, I never saw any love note confessions in the shoe cubbies. Also, you don't know clean until you've been to a Japanese school because these kids clean the school from top to bottom every single day. They also serve themselves lunch and clean their own trays. And being this clean also means every time you're feeling even just a bit under the weather, you are expected to wear a mask. But the most restrictive rule was that girls could either have a bob or their hair in a low pony, not a high pony. And apparently it's because every student had to bike to school and only low ponytails would fit in their helmets. Though I'll let you guys decide if that was the real reason. Another big one was that no students were allowed to wear makeup or have piercings. But the one that really sent me spiraling was that they always left the windows and doors open and there was no heating or cooling in the halls. So I had to walk around in a coat for about half the year. But the worst one had to be some of the English and the posters that they put up without my approval. I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to these things in Japan, starting off strong with Soapland.
I literally don't know how to explain this one.
Okay, so basically it's a place where you can pay to have some pretty ladies give you a little soapy, little sudsy, little saucy bath. It's none of my business. Get your coin, you know? But it has its target audience, and so do these wooden sandals. They're called geta, very traditional, very stylish, especially when worn with kimono. But Ben and me, we can't help but look like waddling penguins every time we try to put these puppies on. Which is a shame because look at the absolute aura of this. And okay, another bath one that's hard for me is that bath water is shared. Meaning that during bathing time, the whole family is using the same water. Which makes sense because you take a shower beforehand and you don't want to waste it by draining it each time. On the other hand, I've been on business trips where they've expected me to share the same bath water as coworkers, and frankly, I'd just rather take a shower, and only a shower. Things in countryside Japan that could send you into a coma. The animals, because it's not all cute bowing deer. Like, did I tell you guys, literally the first day I started working, this thing jumped out of my coworker's bag. Between the giant spiders, the venomous centipedes, and the murder hornets, it was hard to go outside sometimes. And if it's not the bugs that get you, the ghosts will. You do not truly understand Japanese horror stories until you're here. It's pretty common out here to be biking along down the streets when you come across a 1,000-year-old shrine. And not only that, but there's also a ton of abandoned towns out in the countryside, so everything just feels kind of old and haunted. And one thing nobody's surviving, the K-trucks. I kind of want one of these actually, but they're absolute menaces on the road. I have never been closer to death than driving next to a Japanese farmer in one of these bad boys. You've got to see what a luxury anime hotel looks like. This Naruto hotel loads you up with freebies. They even give you these exclusive yukata you can take home with you. I picked the one with Naruto's boyfriend, obviously. The entire place is decked out with references, so you can live out your childhood Hokage dreams. Then you'll take a private shuttle to the theme park to see the Naruto Illumination show, followed by a gourmet dinner featuring Awaji Wagyu beef. And they feed you good here, so you'll probably need to use the bathroom, but Pervy's age might make that a little uncomfortable. And when you're ready to crash, you can sleep easy under the watchful eye of Orochimaru. I couldn't believe it, but this train station is run by a cat. The Kishi station in Wakayama is completely cat-themed because this is the star employee, even though she doesn't look too happy about it. But this cat and her predecessor have helped save the station and even make it a tourist hotspot. I couldn't help but pick up some stickers to give to my class. My students really don't deserve me. Tragically, the cat-themed train was out of service, so we had to go on a different themed train. But the cat station master runs a pretty tight schedule, so we got there on time and in style.
I actually thought this hotel was AI. Because there's no way this place really has a roller coaster, right? But the tree that looks like Italian brain rot? Real. Hallways that look like the back rooms? Real. Candy-themed rooms with donut pillows? I'm starting to wish it wasn't real.
I'm not touching that.
And exploring this Willy Wonka nightmare, there is a whole theme park on the roof. It may be a safety violation, but this Japanese hotel is not AI.
Guys, look what my neighbor gave me. It's a mochi machine. You put in the rice, it steams it. Time to become mochi. It's done. This is supposed to be non-stick. It might be a little bit too liquidy. I'm no mochi expert. They're not the prettiest, but I hope my neighbor likes them.
My gym in Japan is better than yours.
This is a gym for people who hate working out. They have hair removal, laundry machines, teeth whitening, and manicure services for free, or at least as part of your membership. And the membership is dirt cheap because there is no staff, only a QR code to check in. So a lot of young people have been using this gym as a sort of one-stop glow-up shop. Are the actual workout machines good? No. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for the machine that zaps my skin until I'm perfect at mewing. Then we get our reps in the karaoke room. And then when I go get my nails printed, I can watch some TV. Have you ever tried this one? And if that weren't enough, their welcome gift is a free workout watch and a scale. A harsh but genius marketing strategy.
My new pets are inside this can.
These are Marimo moss balls, and they're actually not moss, but algae, which makes them the perfect pet for a small Japanese apartment like mine.
Oh, he is a big boy. Not in a baby. Oh, he's so cute. cute. And for all the people that thought I would kill my other ones, no, they're alive, they're thriving. Try again. I'm a good mother.
Now these guys are usually found at the bottom of lakes and require no oxygen, so I think this jar will do the trick. The wildest thing is that Marimo can live hundreds of years and have a chance of carrying invasive zebra mussels, so don't throw these down your drain.
I think they sent me the wrong order because they gave me extra for free.
And here she is, my immortal Marimo ball army.
I turned my boyfriend's bath into slime. So there's this powder that's going crazy in Japan.
And when you add it and mix it into water, it turns into this.
I think it's working, but there are some chunks. Oh, he is gonna love this. Maybe. Hey Ben, the bath's ready.
He's going in.
Oh, did you put like a bath bomb in this or something? Oh, what? What did you do to my bath?
You said you like to watch slime videos.
I am not taking a bath in this. Is this gonna go down our drain? Our landlord is gonna kill us.
This $200 Japanese spoon is supposed to make your food more salty.
So I'm testing it by making the most bland ramen to see if Ben can tell the difference.
All right, we've got our soup. Time to get the blindfold.
Am I gonna get electrocuted?
Maybe.
Normal spoon, electric spoon.
It's kind of bland, honestly.
Well, I'm no Gordon Ramsay. Okay, next one.
Whoa, this gotta be the electric one.
Worth every penny. I'm too old to dress like this. What?
If there's one thing you learn living here, it's that a lot of people express themselves through what they wear. And even though this country is really strict, people go crazy with all kinds of fashion. It's not really about looking attractive or dressing your age. I mean,
How was I supposed to dress like this when I was 10? I was broke.
and in Japan, where there's a lot of pressure for everybody to fit in, it takes a lot of courage to stick out. But people here still do it. And you know what the best part is?
If you don't like it, you don't have to wear it.
For the love of God, don't do these things when you come to Japan. There are so many things you don't want to do on the train, but one thing no one talks about is the sneaky out of service train. If no one gets on it when it stops or everybody gets off suddenly, then don't make the mistake I've made so many times and just follow the crowd. Then when it's time to get on, put your backpack in the front when it's crowded, get your spot, and be quiet. Or if you don't want to raw dog the train ride, get your earphones ready. Also, don't use the train like a jungle gym. I've seen tourists use these like monkey bars.
Bruh.
And if that's too complicated, then you can get a taxi. But don't miss open taxis because the colors are reversed. Green means taken and red means available. Also, don't ignore the colors on vending machines. The blue ones are cold drinks and red ones are hot drinks. These can be really useful as hand warmers in the winter and cooling packs in the summer. Which the heat and humidity in Japan, June through September, is so bad, all I have to say is
Do not come.
instead come with us in October when we're hosting a group tour. We're going to Kyoto, Osaka, and even to feed the deer in Nara. There's still spots open now.
Guys, it's Japan's biggest celebrity.
This little monkey's mother may not love him, but the rest of the world does.
Because he replaced his mom with a plushie.
So there's only one thing for us to do.
Adopt Punch the monkey.
Then we realize he can't read our sign. He's a Japanese monkey. Then we realize he's a monkey. But he isn't seeing our sign. And these other monkeys are only playing with him because he's viral right now.
They only start to care once you're famous.
So we ask the zookeeper if we can adopt him. Because we may not want to be human parents, but we're the perfect monkey parents.
And he actually says, yes, we can get a monkey.
At the gift shop.
I think somebody tried to steal my bike.
Are you kidding me?
There are 3 things that get stolen in Japan: umbrellas, undies, and bikes.
So we're gonna make sure no one even tries to steal it ever again.
And that's by printing out some new curses at the convenience store to make our bike absolutely unstealable.
Time for some stickers.
Step 1, the handles.
Do hand herpes even exist? None of my business.
Next is the seat.
This one's truly dish gosh dang.
And finally, the basket.
Let's see if this works.
Ben, get on.
I'm not riding that thing.
You can hire somebody to quit your job for you in Japan, and I did not understand why until I quit my first job here. As soon as I turned in my resignation letter, it was like a criminal trial had started. My boss, my boss's boss, my boss's boss's boss, they sat down and grilled me. They for real wanted an apology with tears. It was not enough to tell them that I had gotten a better job. They wanted to know all the details. What my new job would be, how long I'd stay there, what my salary was gonna be. apparently. And I had heard of people here whose old job tried to sabotage their new job with this kind of information, so I was stressed. And mind you, I come from a country where I had coworkers who wrote "I quit" on a napkin and were never seen again. So yeah, this was quite the culture shock. After they finally accepted my reason for leaving, they still wanted an apology letter and for me to give a speech to the staff saying sorry to them as well. So it might actually make sense to literally pay someone to help you quit your job here. I would never expect to find this in a magazine, but if buying a hair straightener from a magazine will fix my bad hair day, well, I have one bullet train ride to see if I can get this thing to actually work. See, in Japan, some magazines come with free gifts to try to get you to buy them. Cause I mean, who's reading magazines nowadays, am I right? I'm only here for the weird gadgets that they come with. It's clearly a very effective marketing strategy is what I'm saying. But what I'm not sure about is whether or not this thing is actually gonna work. And just as I think the train conductor is gonna come by and tell me to put away this fire hazard, nope, not a care in the world. Probably not even the weirdest thing they've seen somebody do on the train. Actually, what's the weirdest thing you've done on a train? Because this might be it for me. So far, the straightener is doing something, but my bangs are not banging today. And that's what really needs the straightener. And even though this should not work, it low-key did the job.
So when I left my job as an English teacher, my students wrote me goodbye notes. But I never read them because I was worried they'd make me too sad. But then the other day I opened up this one and it said, "Dear Megan, thank you very much. Your class was fucking fun." I didn't teach them that one. And so for my 100th video, I think it's time to see what my students had to say. Tokyo ni itte mo ganbatte kudasai. If you can dream it, you can do it. Geniuses. I only teach geniuses. This one, they drew McDonald's french fries, which kind of makes sense, I guess. I'm American, after all. I like your English lessons. Talking with you makes us happy and positive. Thank you for teaching. I like English better now. I'm sure that you can do it. That's really sweet. I knew it would make me sad. Honestly, though, this is what most of the messages look like. It was fun to Kahoot. Another one. I enjoyed Kahoot. And another one. I especially enjoyed Kahoot. This is my legacy as a teacher.
We rented a Japanese mom for the day to help us become lunchbox masters. This is Michiko, and she's a mom who's learned the art of making beautiful bento. And some of these lunches are pretty intense, so we have to learn some serious skills like rolling omelets and turning them into flowers and hearts. Michiko had to save our attempts a few times, but that's what moms do. The good news is Japan makes it easy to kawaiify your lunch. She showed us cute little sausages that turn into octopi and hole punches that make faces from seaweed. But some skills you can only learn from these masterful moms in person, which is why we booked this through Klook. And for Black Friday, they're giving 35% off all kinds of tours, activities, and theme park tickets with our code, the Hitobito. And hopefully the bento you make will turn out just as cute as ours. Going from Japan to America is the most intense culture shock, because when I'm living in Japan, I can get the most Michelin-starred experience and not have to tip a dime. But in the US, everywhere is asking for a tip now. Even at places I swear it didn't used to be a thing. So I'm just left here doing math problems when in Japan my meal would be over already. In Tokyo, I'm a train girly. The trains go everywhere, so I take them everywhere. But you already know the US is all about its cars, which can be a nice change of pace to be honest, until I run into one of these jump scares. Not gonna lie, I think I prefer Japan's K-trucks to the Tesla trucks. In Japan, I've gotten really used to not having to talk much to staff or servers, and a lot of places are becoming more automated. But man, it's been a struggle to readjust to small talk back home. Though I do think it's sweet that people comment on the weather or ask about your day. Gotta admit that I missed good old Midwestern friendliness. The rules for working in Japan have gotta be the hardest part of living here. Cause what do you mean you can't leave work until your boss leaves? That clock strikes 6 and I'm done, I'm out, but not in Japan. I've even heard rumors that the train doesn't run past midnight, so people are forced to go home from work. But that's just a theory, a train theory. I'm lucky this isn't an issue for me, but what is an issue? Business cards. Cause I've learned there's an art to giving business cards. When you give yours, face it towards them, hand it over with 2 hands, and do a slight 30-degree bow. And when they hand you theirs, don't you dare put it away. Read their name and more importantly, their titles so you can know where they stand in the hierarchy, which will come in handy later when you go out drinking with them. When the time comes to do cheers, make sure your glass is lower than your boss's or your clients to show that you know you're lower than them. But I kinda do like the rule about getting a free health check through your work every year. The exam helped me find out I'm allergic to cats and dogs and houses, apparently. Rules I've had to learn for living in Japan. Always use use protection on your sink. Yeah, it turns out garbage disposals aren't that common outside of the US, so you've got to use these little nets to catch all your food. Next is when you're at the train station, listen for the birds. Because they're not actually birds, it's a sound you can use to find the exit. Much like these yellow markers on the ground, they're a way for the visually impaired to find their way around, or for anyone to find a way out during the middle of rush hour. Next is the most heartbreaking for me. Never fall in love with the food at a convenience store chain, especially the amazing limited edition collaborations that they have, because it doesn't matter how much you and everybody else loves the cheese pizza volcano. One day you'll wake up and it just won't be there anymore. And okay, movie theater etiquette was something I had to get used to, because you are expected to sit through the entire end credits completely in silence. It is very respectful, but it is kind of excruciating.
You've got to see what Japanese school lunch looks like. Every month they give it a menu with all the allergens and nutrition, and then most lunches consist of some soup, a protein, some salad, and of course rice and milk. And when we're done, even the teachers have to clean our own trays and dishes. Okay, so this is my second day of school lunch, and even if you don't like mayo, you should try Kewpie mayo because it's the best. And this was really good, but ironically my island is super famous for onions, but it makes me so bloated. And then the next day my lunch was pretty fishy, maybe because eel was the main dish. Oh, and I also don't like drinking straight milk, so I smuggled this home for my partner. I pack up my leftover rice, and then most of us brush our teeth right after lunch.
Makeup is banned in schools in Japan.
So apparently girls here invented secret school makeup.
Like using tinted sunscreen.
Even though it totally changes the color of your skin.
And when I was a teacher here, girls definitely used clear lip gloss instead of lipstick.
Cause it's completely invisible, but it's spicy.
So it makes your lips puff up, if you're into that.
I saw it in my class, but I never snitched cause I respect the grind.
And if you're caught with regular mascara, you're definitely getting sent to the bathroom in front of everybody to wash it off. Embarrassing. But if you use clear mascara to fluff up your lashes, nobody will clock it. And the sneakiest one of all is using eyeshadow to tightline your eyelids. It makes your eyes look just a bit bigger. And if I were still a teacher, I would have no idea.
Hey, excuse me, I'm looking for some sandals, but they have to look like a crustacean or I'm just not gonna wear them. Do you have anything for that?
Funny you should ask. We just got these in. Hey, so I'm looking for just like a ridiculous amount of lubrication. Do you have that here?
I know this looks like water. It is not.
Hey, so I'm really trying to learn the world's most annoying instrument, but I'm also a huge Hatsune Miku fan.
Oh yeah, we keep those over here, yeah. Easy. This is weird, but do you guys have underwear with a faucet on the front?
Boy, do we ever.
Hey, so I want to go to a Christmas party as a reindeer, but I want to be like jacked. Do you have something for that?
Sir, I have exactly what you need.
There are so many things you need to know to stay at a traditional Japanese hotel. Like, don't you dare bring your dirty dogs into this immaculate ryokan. Take off your shoes before you step on the tatami. Speaking of shoes, if you have business with the bathroom, you better change into your designated toilet shoes. Now, this might seem like stuff that's obvious to any Japanese person, but just like a lot of foreigners, I've had to learn through many mistakes. Anyways, one of the first things you'll notice about traditional hotels is there's no bed. But don't worry, chill out, calm down, this is your vacation. Take a look in the closet, but do not touch. The hotel staff will come along later and lay out your futon for you. Do open up all the drawers and look for your traditional Japanese leisure suit, otherwise known as yukata. But be careful, make sure you wrap the left side over the right, or else you might get mistaken as a ghost. And now it's time to enjoy your private bath, but not before you scrub away all your sins. Right in front of the mirror too. I don't know, that's how they do it here. But I must warn, if you're a picky eater, the food can get pretty creative here. But is this an experience you'd want to try?
The delivery guy just rang the door. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to play some crane games in our apartment.
こんにちは。ありがとうございます。クレーンゲームやりたいですか?
He said yes.
どうぞ。
Wow!
Do you want to play?
Okay.
Okay, どうぞ。Oh, he's focused. He's locked in.
Whoa!
Oh, first try? Oh my
I
god.
think this guy's a pro.
Said he really wants the mini crane.
He's actually doing it. What?
He won all of our prizes.
No one was gonna tell me getting your wisdom teeth removed is different in Japan.
Cause apparently the dentists here yank your teeth out while you're completely awake. No way, not gonna happen. And then the hospital says they'll put you under, but you gotta stay there for 3 days. Just let me wander home loopy, dang it. So you find the one place that actually uses laughing gas.
Then you realize you have a problem they've never even heard of before.
Gingers need way more numbing than normal people. This is not a problem Japan deals with often. But thank God But my dentist speaks English, so I can get high as a kite with only one problem now that my teeth are gone.
He doesn't know I got us first class on the Chinese bullet train.
And he is not ready for how China does first class.
How much did this cost?
I'll tell you at the end.
But between the complimentary reclining seats, the complimentary tea, the complimentary suspiciously shaped snacks,
Is this what I think it is?
and the complimentary slippers, which will now get us complimentary DMs asking for feet pics, this is starting to seem very economical. But there's still one thing we have to try on a Chinese bullet train. You can literally have food delivered to you on the train.
You order it on the app, and then they bring it to you at the next stop.
This kind of luxury on a plane could have cost us thousands. But how much is this 5-hour first class ticket?
About $120.
Alright, pretty good.
You gotta know these survival hacks in Japan, because my phone died and I thought I'd be stuck on the subway forever. But you can actually use your train card on your phone even if it's dead. This one seriously saved my cheeks. And when you get out of the station and are crossing the road, listen for the birds, because they'll tell you something. Usually when you're crossing north to south, the birds will go, and east to west will go. This is meant to help the visually impaired, but might help you orient yourself too. And at some point, you're gonna end up with too many coins. But it's no problem, because you can just take your yennies to the self-checkout. And while you're shoveling those coins in, don't forget who taught you all these tips so that you can grab your crisp cash.
I'll give you $100 if you can make sushi without even touching it.
Without touching it? Okay, I have a plan.
And done. Sushi truck.
That's cheating, you touched it.
I didn't touch the rice. You ready to pay up?
There is no way this works. Are you serious? No way! I hate that this works.
Thank you! When your taxi driver says they know a spot, you go there, okay? Because we're on a remote Japanese island with only a few thousand people. No Uber here, just this guy. And the first spot we go to, we get lost. But it's okay, because by fate, we run into our driver again, and he says, let me handle the spots from here on out. And the first place he takes us is this black sand beach. Have you ever seen anything like this? Not like that. The beach was beautiful and almost completely empty. But then he says, there's somewhere I need to take you guys for free, because you haven't seen this island till you've seen this. This is a secret cove, not marked on any maps or any signs. And our taxi driver knows exactly where it is because, well, he's lived on this island his entire life. There's even a cave here with artifacts from thousands of years ago. Like, what kind of video game dimension did our taxi driver teleport us to? To return our driver's kindness, we told him we'd bring back souvenirs from America next time we come to visit. Things I love and hate working at a Japanese school. Probably the worst part is the salary, because you have to be a native English speaker and have a degree, and the yen's value is only getting worse right now. So even my students knew it's not exactly the perfect job. On the other hand, the students are definitely the highlight, because I know I don't have what it takes to be a teacher in America, but the students here are honestly so respectful and funny, whether it's drawing anime Jesus or using some questionable catchphrases. They are great, but you know what's not so great? The textbooks they use here. Some of the English they were teaching was questionable at best, and I'm gonna be so completely real, it's even more questionable some of the things that they're not taught about history. But that's a way bigger issue than just my school. My school is old, but so well taken care of. I love the effort everyone puts into keeping it clean. On the other hand, an old school means old values. Like, the girls can't even wear pants to school, they have to wear skirts.
Loser has to go in the human washing machine.
Human washing machine?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
What even is that?
This looks like a torture chamber.
Enjoy your bath time.
Am I gonna die in here? Heart rate sensor? Oh my god. Am I okay?
Oh, it's bubbling.
I'm a mermaid? What's happening here? It's raining. Oh, it's cold. It's squirting on me everywhere. Let me out. Let me out of here. Oh, thank God.
How was it?
The design is very human.
I am sick of being a ginger. We're dyeing this hair brown. I've never been allowed to dye my hair because this is all natural. But I found this, so I can try a new hair color for a day.
When I'm done, I'm gonna show my boyfriend and he's gonna flip out.
Layer 1, done. Layer 2, let's go. Oh.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This looks so crazy. I don't want to be ginger anymore.
I think it's time to show Ben.
Hey babe, you want to go get some dinner?
What is that? Yeah, you're going back to red.
Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan. Megan, Japan is living in the future. They have robots. My school has a payphone. That's in use daily, but okay. Anyways, I biked to school today and there's a big debate about whether or not girls should be able to wear ponytails above their ears. Apparently, they could obstruct girls' helmets while they're biking to school. But I'm not really buying it, because can't they just put it down or take it out before they put on their helmets? At my school, decisions are made for you, whether you like it or not. But on a brighter note, my students taught me that if you have big cheeks when you smile, they look like takoyaki balls. So you have takoyaki cheeks. Finally, a trend for my round face peeps, am I right? But then, on my way home, I saw the bane of my existence. Despite Japan being a pretty quiet place, they allow these absurdly loud advertisement vans. Like, how are those even legal? How is this not illegal in Japan? Like, you can buy a pack of smokes from a vending machine. And I mean, yeah, it checks your ID, but my American brain sees this as way too easy to abuse. And people think Japan is strict, but you can also drink in public. I know, it feels illegal, but no one will stop you from having that Shibuya meltdown. And when you're at the convenience store, you'll often find this guy. No, not Ben, but the guy flipping through naughty magazines. Just out in public, nothing illegal about it. This is such a problem that most places tape their magazines shut nowadays. Right above the kids' comics, too. Very classy. And since so many people ride bikes, they load up their whole families on these death traps. The amount of times I've almost been run over by a mom with 3 kids and a bag of groceries is too many, but not illegal.
These things in my Japanese apartment make no sense, but also make perfect sense.
Cause when there's an earthquake, you use this to escape the building. Not like this, but more like this. Literally rappelling down the side of your apartment. And when you live here, you have to have so many trash cans. 1 for burnables, 1 for plastics, 3, 4, 5 for cans, bottles, and glass, and a composter. Okay, actually, the composter's my choice. The most confusing thing, though, is
There's a bath, but where's the faucet?
trick question. There is no faucet, only a little button that makes the water squirt out like this. And when you're done taking your bath, instead of selling your dirty bathwater, you can use it to wash your clothes.
Very economical.
My last day as an English teacher in Japan. As soon as I got in, I was absolutely bombarded by goodbye gifts, including this really nice sake from my coworker who must want me to party it up before I get out of here. Then I went around handing out the Rice Krispies I made because that felt like the best representation of America to leave them with. Of course, I had to wander around the school and think of all my memories, carrying the school's fashion game, making the most absurd cahoots, and my rabid fans. And because I'm sentimental AF, I wrote a bunch of goodbye letters to the staff, but I was exhausted after that, so I did what my students do and used ChatGPT to write my goodbye speech. Honestly, thank God I'm leaving this job before the robots take over, because I simply won't know what to do. The only thing left was my big speech, which was mediocre at best, but it is the Japanese way to be polite and give me flowers. And you may be wondering what comes next after being an English teacher. And to that I say, the worst hell of them all, moving to a new city in Japan. Hope you all stick around for my Tokyo Girl era. Day in my life in Japan, weekend edition. See that abandoned castle? Yeah, we're climbing up to that. First, we're stopping at the convenience store to get some snacks before picking up our mountain guide Tamir from his haunted apartment. And as soon as we got to the path, it was pretty much straight up the mountain. And I don't know how they got a shrine up here, but my calves were grateful for the break. Tamir tried to sweep to appease the mountain spirits, and it seemed to work, so we made it to the castle in no time. Ooh, yeah, baby, that's a castle. And as if that wasn't enough, just look at the view. The castle is about 500 years old, and though it's abandoned, no, we couldn't get in. Ben's celebrating getting up here with a flip, and I'm celebrating with good old onigiri. Then we asked for Tanuki-san's blessings on the way down. Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan. My contract is finally coming to a close, and I'm jealous of the person who comes after me because I have set them up. I even made my students write letters to themselves for the future so that they cry at graduation, because I'm an evil mastermind. Then lunch today was my school's attempt at spaghetti. The Italians would be crying, but the worst part was actually the bread, because they really just expect you to raw dog it. No jam, no butter, no nothing, just bread. No wonder my coworkers hate bread day. When I came back from my post-lunch wander around the school, I found that they left me snacks, but it left me craving even more, so I went to the nearest store and found some snacks that honestly deserve their own video. Like, Freud would have loved these, but this one was more up my alley. Day in my life working in Japan. I'm officially free from the shackles of being an English teacher and making big moves here in Tokyo. Just kidding, I like my old job, but I like not having to wake up at 7 a.m. now more. And you know what else I like? The sunbrellas that everybody carries here in Japan. In their they're kind of high tech because they open and close with one button. When I looked up, I saw the place that my work sent me to today was right next to Tokyo Skytree. And this place was pretty fancy for a gremlin like me. Like, did you see how I was holding that teacup? Just abhorrent. But what was more on my level was this peach mochi they gave me that was just caked up. After getting a full stomach and doing a bit more work, I wandered outside and found a festival, and everybody was dancing and having a good old time, so you know I had to join in. And even though I really do look like a Phineas and Ferb character doing this dance, I had a great day. Never work here in Japan. I was interviewing at some companies and had to leave as soon as they told me how they treat their employees. Policies like unpaid mandatory overtime, working on weekends and holidays, and not letting people quit. I even had a company say that employees need to pay them when they miss work, no matter if it's an emergency like a train accident or a health issue. Like, it's already bad enough to not get paid for the day. Imagine having to hand your boss a crisp $100 every time you get a flat tire. Devious. Absolutely devious. People here call these black companies because they're infamous for their shady business practices. They target young workers or foreigners because they don't know better or don't have resources to fight them. And when you try to quit, I've heard of people getting sued by these companies or blackmailed at their new jobs in retaliation. Is it legal? No. Does it happen? Somehow, yeah. And honestly, some of my jobs in the US were just as bad, but this is what to look out for in Japan.
I'm in Tokyo with only one coin. Let's see if we can find breakfast.
The first rule of getting a cheap breakfast in Japan is you gotta get in early, because these morning meal deals don't last long. And some of these prices are so low that I think they'd go broke if they offered it all day. But it's not my fault this much food only costs around $3. Rule number 2 is use the free stuff. Like, this restaurant has sauces and spices, and you can use as much as you want of them, but don't get too crazy. So my deep fried sauce covered croquet is delicious. And they even give you a whole bowl of shredded cabbage to balance your digestion. Heaven knows I need that. Now, the sausage is supposed to be the star of the show, but after fighting me, I find out it's just a standard sausage, though the egg is perfectly runny. And rule 3 after your 1 coin meal, always remember to share with your salaryman.
I'm transforming my tiny Japanese kitchen.
We've only got 4 square meters to work with, and everything has to be renter friendly.
Because my landlord is already lusting over my deposit.
So we're doing this with no nails and no tape on the walls.
These micro apartments are strict. So storage is the key, and as you can see, ours is kind of a mess.
But if there's one thing I'm good at, it's finding solutions without doing any work.
Can you help?
And if there's one thing Ben is good at, it's assembling.
That boy loves assembling.
There are so many people in Tokyo who never cook their own meals because their kitchens are too tiny.
But not us, baby.
After adding some finishing touches, our kitchen is finally usable, and more important, very economical.
My new pets are in this can. Can you see them? They're right there.
These guys are Marimo mothballs, and they can live for hundreds of years.
But they need a new home.
Because that can is not gonna cut it. And I've gotta make sure my immortal mothball army stays healthy, so I'm using Plantum to learn how to take care of them. I use it on pretty much all my plants to identify them, check their health, and even set reminders to take care of them. You won't catch me being a bad plant mom.
I'm naming this one Zoro.
But checking on these little guys, we've got some bad news.
Not healthy. Hopefully this new home will make these guys healthier.
You can download Plantum from our links.
These Japanese pills are supposed to make your sweat smell like roses.
So we're testing it out by getting sweaty.
For science.
I don't think you were supposed to take that many.
My tummy hurts. Don't look at my form. It's not about that.
I don't know about my sweat, but my burps taste like roses.
All right, I'm sweaty. Let's see if these pills work. Sniff me.
It actually worked. That's crazy.
Here's what school lunch looks like in Japan. To me, the best days are curry days, because if you've ever had Japanese curry, you know it just hits every time. And the worst days are when my school attempts to do Italian food, because they just can't seem to get it quite right. But most days my lunch is some combination of rice, salad, and some kind of protein. And if the lunch lady feels nice, she'll throw in some fruit. And listen, if you were raised on American public school lunch like me, you know this is like fine dining compared to that. The craziest part is that every school has a nutritionist that knows all the kids' allergies. I mean, they don't care about mine and that onions do unholy things to my body, but at least they care about the kids. In the days that we don't have school lunch, usually the staff will order some fancy bentos. But honestly, I think I prefer what the lunch lady serves up because for $2, I don't think you can get a much better deal for lunch. Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan sports festival episode. No, this isn't just an anime thing. Japanese sports festivals go hard. Especially the Uno tournament, these kids were standing on business. But the absolute drama for the day was that one of my students was sick, so they asked me to replace her in the relay race. And before you think I'm some kind of hero in all this, haha, no. See that? That's me, all the way in the back. Pretty sure I was actually my team's villain origin story by losing that race. But they still had the biggest event, tug-of-war. They wanted Ben on their team, but the shoes situation was, not gonna work. So he just turned in his ticket as a guest, and we got to bop along to the school band. But in an upset, the second year's won, not the third year's. They gave everyone ice cream, though, to show that we're really all winners. Who knew you could get ramen from a vending machine? And I'm not talking cup noodle, I mean like handmade gourmet Japanese food. And I guess this machine is popular because everything but the ramen was sold out, so that's what we got. And I do not know why I thought this would come out as a steaming hot bowl of ramen, but I'm still a little bit upset about it. And this is where we messed up because we were giving it the cup noodle treatment even though it clearly had instructions we were supposed to read. Like, see this part? We definitely weren't supposed to do that. I had very little faith, so I made Ben try it, and he confirmed that you should probably just stick to cup noodles.
I think I booked the wrong makeover. Cause I'm supposed to look like this.
But then they start doing my makeup, and instead of looking like a cutesy K-pop princess,
I'm having to trust the process. Then it's time for hair, and I'm like, this isn't giving cutie, this is giving daddy. But the final straw is this scandalous outfit. Guys, I think I messed up.
cause I have to take pictures in this.
I can't pose in this.
Correction, I can pose in this. I can even JoJo pose in this.
Okay, we have the results, and now we show Ben.
I think you booked the right makeover.
AI is lying to you about Japan, and I'm sick of it! Like, look at this. I thought it was obvious that this is not real, but look at how many of you believed it! We do have very cute trains in Japan, the cutest in the world, but not that. And they said this is why Japan is living in the future, and it's literally Korea. This is also Korea. This is literally China. Also China. And this one's AI again. And even worse, this is just trying to get you to buy something that's not even from Japan. Watashi wa cooked, yo.
Day in the life of an English teacher in Japan. First, I bike to school and then I take off my outdoor shoes because obviously you can't wear outdoor shoes inside. It's summer break though, which means I get paid to read and learn Japanese and make the occasional PowerPoint. But outside of that, I'm usually wandering around the school because it's so pretty compared to the schools in the US. When I got back though, I thought my coworkers had abandoned me because the staff room was completely empty, and then this guy walks in with this capsule toy filled with ice cream, and then my other coworker brings in a watermelon grown by her grandma. They